Perry, can you give me just a minute? I know you apologized to the Enterprise. Could you tell me why?
Well, and like I just explained to Mr. Poole there, again, I still say that the content did misrepresent the facts. But still, we need to conduct ourselves in a professional manner, and so that was no call to lash out and call them a tabloid.
That's Doug Perry. He's the chairman of the Board of Supervisors in Patrick County. He's apologizing after calling the local newspaper a tabloid.
And what I witnessed at the last meeting was disgusting. I think a lot of us were upset with some of the behaviors that went on, the rudeness that goes on, the communication or the lack of communication that goes on between the board and the citizens of this county. I love this county. I've been here for 14 years with my husband. I love the people of this county. They're kind. They've been very giving. And I see a lot of stuff going on here that's real uncomfortable, and it's just not nice. We should be a county of integrity, a place to be proud, a place that we are proud of all of you that sit up here and direct this county. And I'm not real proud, honestly.
Needless to say, last meeting, after the meeting was over, I was told that by a member of the board that they hoped I had the balls to say what I say when the county administrator's here. And I will. I just got to the age now that I don't have that filter between my head and my mouth. And I'm going to tell you what I think. And I have caught wind last week that a member of this board is discussing my disability in public. And if you want to know what my disability is, come talk to me. I'll tell you all about the doctor that butchered me up, and we proved him negligent. So it's not for me as being fat. It runs in my family on my handy side, and I got it honestly. But if you want to know about me, call me. I'll talk to you. I'll give you the time, because that's the way we work things out with communications. And at this point in time, some of the communications I see is disgusting. And we need to be upfront with everybody in this county, because we all pay taxes, whether it's personal property or it's...
What did they get wrong?
So, as the article, it told the reader what to think, and it put the text and it put the emails out of context. So it was accusing me of lashing out to a member because of what they voted here, and that was not the facts. There was a lot of things going on behind the scene that drove that particular text. They told the reader what to think and how to feel in that article versus creating a balanced article.
Debbie, how does this meeting make you feel?
It restores my faith in the board to some degree, the majority of them, because the fee was exorbitant. It was done incorrectly in terms of...
You think it was retaliation?
It felt like it. It sure felt like it.
Right.
Because not only the fee, but every time before when I had asked, explained the problems to the board members, the bottleneck seemed to get tighter. And that also felt like retaliation. We just want to do our jobs, that's all.
And you got the chairman still saying he thinks your story was slanted, or how does that make you feel?
Did he?
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
still saying that after apologizing.
No, that's it. Yeah. I think he just does, maybe he just doesn't, or maybe he feels that way. I think the chairman is a good guy. Mm-hmm. I think he's been a bit, not everybody is really familiar with FOIA, like we are.
Right. He admitted they're going to go to that retreat to get training.
Right.
Yeah.
And I hope that will help them a lot.
Because they're concerned about secret meetings and secret get-togethers and things like that, things that are illegal.
Well, and a lot of that is driven by a lot of misinformation as well. Several comments that were said here tonight was driven by misinformation. So that's something that the board needs to work diligently on with that communication piece, because the more we can get this information out, then that cuts down on misinformation and the rumor mill. So the better we put information out, the more informed people are. So when somebody starts the rumor mill or pushes bad information, that lessens the chance of people buying into it.
You voted to keep the enterprise from having to pay all that extra money.
Because, like Mr. Wood said, they weren't notified. If they were notified, I'm like, then yeah, they need to pay it. But because they weren't notified, I believe that that's the fair thing to do.
You know, I've been in the news since 1990. Debbie Hall is probably one of the best reporters that I've ever seen. Maybe a little laid back sometimes. Have you ever seen her do anything outlandish?
Like I said, some of the articles I feel aren't as balanced, and I feel a lot of it is her opinion coming through versus allowing the reader to make up their own mind. But that's a professional opinion, not a personal thing. I've spoke with her many times. I think she's a very nice person. I would love to sit down and have a cup of tea or lunch or whatever in good company. So this is not personal. This is strictly professional. And like I said, with the fine piece, because they weren't notified, then that's the fair thing to do.
Are you going to stop talking through text?
Well, and that's something else we need to work out. So, a lot of things that need to be not really county business conducted, but basic things still, we need to be able to have conversations that aren't county business.
It's been pretty terrible, when you're told that you need to email questions for profile interviews, just feature stories. That's just not acceptable.
Are people scared to talk?
I have no idea. I perhaps.
Right.
Yeah, perhaps. I don't know. County employees are, apparently. Some.
Mm-hmm.
Some have, said that they felt like they were in jail.
Right. I had to tell the chairman, I said, do you know Debbie Hall? I mean, she's probably been reporting longer than anybody around here. And sometimes maybe not sensational at all. I mean, I've never heard you described as sensational.
Right. I know. I know.
How does it feel?
I don't even know.
Right.
Yeah.
Hey, but
Thanks,
when
Louise.
when he looked at your face, because that's what you wanted, right?
Yes.
And you could tell he really didn't want to do it, but he did it.
Mm-hmm. He did it, and that meant a lot.
Yeah.
I hope he meant it. It sounds like maybe he didn't, according to what he told you, but we'll see.
Right.
We'll see.
Okay. All right. Well,
Yeah.
I guess this story is to be continued, isn't it?
It absolutely is 2025, right?
Does media matter now?
Media always matters. It really does. And I think that is part of the issue. I was so glad that you were here tonight, you both. Because,
And we supported you.
Yes, and I appreciate
clapped for you.
that.
Yeah.
I appreciate
Yeah,
that. But I think the more eyes on, especially something like this, the better. Because that way it's not just us, it's not just the enterprise, it's everybody's collective. And I really appreciate the support from residents that we've had, because they have been just unbelievable. The last board meeting in November, unbelievable.
I've never seen that. I've never seen so much support for the local media.
Right, yeah. I was amazed and thankful and humbled by this.
The gentleman that made the motion, the board member.
Andrew Overby.
What do you think about that? I mean, that was a bit of a support.
It was, absolutely. And I think Andrew is going to do a great job. He's an incoming board member. Jonathan Wood seemed to really, I think the board's going to come together in a really good way. With Clayton Kendrick and yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let me hug you.
Sure thing.
Support your
man.
local media. This is why it matters. It really does.
Yes.
Yes. See, they're still clapping. We got get everybody clapping over here. Clap, please. Yay! See.
I was going to say Clayton and Andrew's wife.
New Supervisor Andrew Overby put out a motion to stop the enterprise from being charged $1,204.71 for the request of the information that ended up exposing the board. Do you feel a little vindication tonight with what happened?
I just want to ensure fairness. That's all. And, you know, I don't think a FOIA process should be used as a mechanism to prevent people from submitting FOIA requests.
Right. I mean, do you think we kind of expose secret meetings and kind of things going on?
I don't necessarily believe that, but, you know, I think if we're transparent, we don't have those issues.